kids, this is our grammar class and today we are going to start a new lesson, subject and predicate. Subject, the word subject, it is very common to you, right? We have learned this word in so many of our chapters. So what do you mean by subject and predicate? Children, if you notice that in every sentence we mention place, person or thing, and then we talk about the person, place or thing. Okay, so the person, place or thing about whom or which we speak in that sentence, it is called subject. Okay, I mean to say that the person, that means Vyakti, or the place, Thalam, thing, Vastu, about whom, okay, about those things we speak in sentence, that becomes the subject. ആ ഒരു വ്യക്തിയോ വസ്തുവോ അത് സബ്ജക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ട് മാറും. And something that we speak about the person, place or thing, ഇവരെ പറ്റി നമ്മൾ എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ പറയും ഇല്ലേ? So that becomes the predicate. Okay, so the person, place or thing about whom we are talking, it becomes the subject. And what we talk about the person, place or thing, that becomes the predicate. Hope this part is very clear to you. Next, let us see here. See, I have defined here subject. The person, place or thing about whom or which we speak is called subject. And predicate, something we say about the subject. നമ്മള് സബ്ജക്റ്റിനെ പറ്റി എന്താണ് പറയുന്നത്, that becomes the predicate. Example, she walked to the library. I live in Mumbai. India is a country of many languages. Birds fly. The train was traveling very fast. Okay, now in this sentence, okay, we are talking about subject and predicate. So look at these examples. She walked to the library. Okay, now she, it becomes the subject. നമ്മൾ ആരെ പറ്റിയാ പറയുന്നത് ഇവിടെ? She. Yes, we are talking about this person. So she becomes the subject. And what we are talking about her, എന്താണ് ഷീയെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നത് നമ്മൾ? That she walked to the library. So the rest of the sentence, it becomes the predicate. Look at the next example. I live in Mumbai. Here, which is the subject? ഞാൻ മുംബൈയിൽ താമസിക്കുന്നത്. So which is the subject? I, എന്നെ പറ്റിയാ പറയുന്നത്, right? I. So that becomes the subject. And live in Mumbai. Okay, we are talking about her. Something we are talking. എന്താണ് നമ്മൾ അവരെ പറ്റി പറയുന്നത്? That she is living in Mumbai. Okay, so this becomes the predicate. Next, India is a country of many languages. Now, here we are talking about person. And here we are talking about a place, right? We said about a person, place or thing. Now here it is a place. So India is a country of many languages. So India, it becomes the subject. And what we are talking about India, India patti endana nammal parayunnathu, is a country of many languages. That becomes the predicate. Next one, birds fly. We are talking of whom? Birds. Aare pattiya parayunna? Birds. Birds fly. So birds becomes the subject, right? And fly becomes the predicate. What we are saying about bird? നമ്മൾ ബേർഡിനെ പറ്റി എന്താ പറയുന്നത്? That they fly, right? So fly becomes the predicate. Next, the train was traveling very fast. About whom we are talking? ആരെ പറ്റിയാ നമ്മൾ പറയുന്നത്? We are talking about the train. So it becomes the subject, right? And what we are talking about the train? നമ്മൾ ട്രെയിനിനെ പറ്റി എന്താ പറയുന്നത്? That it was traveling very fast. So was traveling very fast becomes the predicate. Okay, I'll make your predicate in brackets so that it will make you easy to understand. Okay, languages, fly, and here we have this one. Okay, now and thing. Okay, so I hope you understood subject, what is subject and what is predicate with these examples. Next is predicate consists of a word or a group of words. Predicate, that means the predicate part. It consists of, so predicate can be a word, a single word it can be, and also it can be a group of words. See, for example, single word which I said, we have one example over here, birds fly, right? So fly is a predicate we said. And how many words are there? There's only one word, that is fly. So predicate can be a word, or look at the other examples, there are more than one word. See, walk to the library. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the thing, and the sentence, live in Mumbai. 1, 2, 3. So in other rest of the sentences or examples, you can see that there are a group of words. Kore words predicate. So predicate can be a word or it can be a group of words. Next thing about predicate is that it may have two parts, that is verb and object. That is, predicate may have two parts, that is verb and object. Verb, what do you mean by verb? You have already learned it, that means action words. So verb, it has, what you learned about verb, that it has to agree with the number and person of the subject in a sentence. Okay, we learned it in the tenses, we learned in finite and non-finite verb also, right? So the verb has to depend on the subject. See, that means, for example, Rahul likes to play cricket. Here, which is our subject, about whom we are talking in this sentence. Aare pattiyane ee sentence il nammal parayunnathu. We are talking about Rahul. So Rahul, it becomes our subject, right? Rahul is our subject. Okay, so Rahul becomes the subject. And what we are talking about Rahul, nammal Rahulne patti enda parayunnathu? That he likes to play cricket, right? So this is our predicate, right? This is our predicate. And in the predicate, we are saying that predicate has verb and it can also have object. So predicate lana verb varunathu. So verb is, which is the verb over here? Which is the action word here? Or which is the verb here? We have likes, right? Likes to play cricket. So likes is the verb over here, and this verb is depending on what? On Rahul, right? So Rahul is subject, that is singular. Okay, we are talking about one person, and since it is singular, ഇവിടെ singular ആവുമ്പം verb will be singular. So this is also singular. So this verb is singular verb, right? So that's why we said that verb depends upon the subject. That means subject is singular, verb is singular. If the subject is plural, then the verb should also be plural. For example here, they like to play cricket. Which is the subject over here? About whom we are talking? They, avarku. Okay, so they becomes our subject, and they is it singular or plural? It is plural, right? It is a third person plural. Okay, we learned that this is a third person plural. So this is in the plural form, and like to play cricket becomes our predicate, right? So what we are talking about that? We are talking that they like to play cricket. So they is plural, and this is our verb, and this, since this is plural, this should be also plural. Okay, so our predicate is like to play cricket, and this is a plural. Okay, and the verb is, this is our verb. Okay, here this is our verb. So we saw that the verb changes according to the subject. So when the subject is singular, the verb becomes singular, and when the subject is plural, the verb becomes plural. Okay, so that's what in predicate we have to see, that the verb depends upon the subject. Next, the predicate has object. What is that? Object, it is the second noun or pronoun in a sentence that receives the action of the subject. What is the meaning of that? That means our sentence le subject we have, then a second noun or pronoun. Okay, our same sentence le രണ്ടാമത്തെ noun or pronoun. Okay, that receives the action of the subject. നമ്മൾ ആ സെന്റൻസിലെ subject means about whom we are talking. Okay, ആ subject എന്താണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, ആ action, that action is received by whom? The object, and that is the second noun or pronoun in a sentence. Okay, let's make that clear with some examples. See here, the fishermen are catching fish. Rita is boiling milk. The boy is wearing a cap. See here, in the first example, let's see, the fishermen are catching fish. We are talking about object. Okay, now these all sentences, it is we are talking about subject and predicate, and in that sentence we are going to see which is our object. So the fishermen are catching fish. In this sentence, the fisherman, it becomes the subject, right? Because ആരെ പറ്റിയാണ് ഈ സെന്റൻസ് പറയുന്നത്? Fishermen. And what the fishermen are doing? They are catching, right? They are catching. This is our verb. So this is our subject. Are catching, this is the action word. So this is the verb or action word. Okay. And catching, this e action fisherman ചെയ്യുന്നത്, e action, and it is received by whom? ആ action ആരുടെ മണ്ടേക്കാണ് പോകുന്നത്? Fish, right? The fishermen are catching what? Fish. എന്താണ് ആൻസർ കിട്ടിയത് നമുക്ക്? Fish. So fish becomes the object. Okay, so this verb has an object, right? So object is the second noun. Noun either. So it is a second noun, or it can be a second pronoun in this sentence, because sometimes subject in our pronoun vary. Appo ee sentence le second pronoun aayittu adu maarum. So it can be noun, second noun or pronoun in the sentence, that is called that is called object, and it receives the action of the subject. Okay, let's see here. Rita is boiling milk. Rita is our subject. Is boiling is our verb. And boiling what? She's boiling milk. So milk becomes our object, right? Okay, so he is boiling. Our boiling ചെയ്യുന്ന action ആരാണ് receive ചെയ്യുന്നത്? Milk. And who is doing that action? Rita, right? Next one, the boy is wearing a cap. In this sentence, you please tell me which is our subject, which is our predicate, which is our verb, and which is our object. Can you guess? Okay, the boy, it becomes our subject. നമ്മൾ ബോയിയെ പറ്റിയാ പറയുന്നത്. So subject. Action എന്തുവാണ്? Is wearing cap. ഇല്ലേ, ഇതല്ലേ action. So is wearing. So this is our verb. Is wearing what? Yes, he's wearing a cap. എന്താണ് wear ചെയ്യുന്നത്? He's wearing a cap. So that becomes our object. Okay? Okay? That is called object. That is, it is the second noun or pronoun in the same sentence. Hope that part is very clear to you. Okay? Next, there's little bit to be discussed about verb. That means verb and object. Okay? We have one more point to be discussed. So let's see that. Next that we are going to discuss is about verb and object, is that some verbs take objects after them. What is that? What is the meaning of that? Some verbs take objects after them. It means like, for example, see here, Rohit eats ice cream. Okay, so this is our subject. Okay, this is subject, this is our verb, right? So some verbs take objects after them, verb, after that there will be object. Rohit eats what? Ice cream. So ice cream becomes our object. Okay, so this object, it is not necessary that always object comes after verb, or there is a need for object. Okay. So that's why they are saying some verbs take object after them. അതായത് വെർബിന് ശേഷം ഒബ്ജക്റ്റ് കാണും ചില സെന്റൻസിൽ. His parents bring coffee. So his parents is subject. Drink is his parents bring coffee. This is verb, and this verb is, we told that verb agrees with the subject. Okay, so plural verb and plural subject. So his parents bring what? We got an object. What in a question verb ചോദിച്ചപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് answer കിട്ടി. So bring what? Coffee. So coffee becomes object. So verbalization object is there in this sentence also. Some verbs do not take objects after them. Okay, but there are still some other sentences where we cannot see any object. So see here, the baby cried. The baby is our subject. Cried is our verb. Is there an object in the sentence? No, we are not having an object over there. Okay, so here it doesn't have any object. Here the girls are dancing. The girls is the girls, it's the subject. Are dancing is our verb. But in both these sentences it doesn't have an object. Okay, that's why I said that verbs sometimes it will have an object and sometimes it will not have an object with it. Okay, so that's regarding the verb and object. So Makla, that's regarding the verb and object. Hope this part is very clear to you. Okay, with this we have completed our lesson, that is subject and predicate. So the subject means the person or place or thing about whom we are talking, that is in the sentence, that is called the subject, and what we are talking about this subject, that becomes the predicate in the sentence. Okay, hope this lesson is very clear to you. Until our next class, have a nice day. God bless you. Thank you.